This is a 911 call, and I'm playing this for my corrupt attorney, John Carr. While I was in court, nobody else was in the courtroom except the judge, the prosecutor, a cop, and the 911 caller, the Weatherman. My corrupt attorney started playing the 911 call in the middle of court. He has never done that in his office. However, the shocking part of it is he started the 911 call at the response, "It was a threat." I would like everybody to listen in silence and a recognition of what corruption is. Here is the start of a 911 call.
July 17th, 2016. The time, 5:56 p.m.
911, where's your emergency?
Yes, hi, this is an actual emergency. I didn't know which number to call for this, but my neighbor just threatened to kill me. So.
What's your address?
My address is 840 Lower Chester Road in Charleston.
And your name?
My name is Jim McBarach, B-A-R-A-C-H. She's very mentally disturbed, and she was carrying a golf club and yelling at me, and she was going to kill me. So.
You know what her name is?
Yes, her name is Tami Stainfield. S-T-A-I-N-F-I-E-L-D.
So she was just walking down the road with a golf club?
She was walking down the road, walking her dog, and with a golf club, started yelling at me, saying it was something that I was doing to her dog was paralyzing it. I have no idea what she's talking about. We've been out of town for the last 4 days. She just pulled up in the driveway and she started yelling at me and screaming, says she's going to kill me if I do that again, whatever that is.
Where's she at now?
She might be back at her house. She lives 1, 2, 3 doors down across the street from me. And she has some serious mental issues, and I really think she needs to be looked at by someone. She has a conviction, I believe, for attacking a police officer, and it's just she just seems to be getting a little worse lately. And you know, I have a 17-year-old daughter here, and I don't want her to be connected to that.
You think she's back at her house now?
I believe she is. If she's not, she's walking her dog around. So she is probably at her house. And her house has her car is in the driveway and has a Tami Stainfield stickers on it. Oh, there she is. She's out walking her dog still down the street.
And what does she look like? White lady, black lady?
She's white, and she's about 60 years old, and she's wearing a turquoise top. She's walking a black Labrador dog. She's making some strange gestures right now in front of the house. Out in the street right now talking to herself and making gestures. She has some serious mental issues, and I hope she can get some help.
She live up by herself?
Yes.
have any family that you know of?
No, I don't know any family.
Okay. All right, well, I'm going to send a police officer up there. They'll have to talk to you first, though, okay?
That is fine.
All right, we'll send somebody up to you.
I appreciate your time.
Oh, you're welcome.
The key elements of this call I'd like to review for the Justice Department of the United States government. The beginning of the call. This is not in an emergency. Again, the corrupt attorney that Tami received, John Carr, who has some association with Judge Sisson. He started the tape at the part after this is not an emergency to imply that I, Tami Stainfield, am guilty. That's how corrupt he is. That's corruption. Starting a video in the middle when you're someone else's own attorney. This man works for Fox News. He is unstable to Tami Stainfield. At the end, the 911 operator did an incredible job. He found out there was no emergency. He found out there was no threat. He found out that the police had to go to the Weatherman to get a report. The situation that arose is Tami Stainfield got hit by a cop and had $15,000, in her view, extorted. However, what is important is principles of law. Tami Stainfield never made a threat to the Weatherman. Tami Stainfield left her house, and as the Weatherman said on his 911 call, he was not home. He had just pulled into his driveway. His daughter was not in the car. The person across the street, a black man, also drove home within less than a minute, apart from each other. The 911 call says he was out of town for 4 days. Tami Stainfield had the golf club in her hand when she left her house, and the Weatherman had not come home. I do not know what type of attorney John Carr is, what type of judge Sisson is, Kaufman is, or this prosecutor, except corrupt and not reading evidence, because this is not a justice system. This is corruption and extortion of money. The evidence is overwhelming on that 911 call. There was no emergency. The cop came up to Tami and she told him, I said, did you drop my dog? That's what she said to the Weatherman. There was no threat, and the Weatherman even said it's not an emergency, some implied threat to a later point. If I paralyze her dog again. That's what the Weatherman's implying. The most important part is, why would my attorney start the video, the 911 call, in a place which looked like there was a threat? The Weatherman said, this is not an emergency, I do not know what number to call. At the end of the call, the 911 operator did constitutional law. He said, the police officer will come to your house. That's where he'll make a report. The police officer chose to override due process of the law and the process of the justice system of the United States. This is continual abuse. The Weatherman's rhetoric that she attacked a police officer. Tami Stainfield has never attacked a police officer. She has never hit a police officer. This endless abuse of Tami Stainfield by this corrupt Democrat and Republican Party, putting people into the position of cops, judges, and media now. This Weatherman is a low-class man. He is mentally disturbed. The evidence is overwhelming. This is corruption. But we want you to listen to this video. We are sick of you deranged people on the internet and in this Justice Department. Listen to this entire video again, and you tell me how you have processed this law.